Okay, hi everyone. This is Greg from Paris as always, but since a few weeks I couldn't do anything because I was a little discouraged with my nosing and tasting, recovering from the C word. It seems to be a little better, but I am not sure. I struggle to tell if I'm really better or not. For those who have Instagram, I did post something because I was there was a birthday party with a friend, and prior to that, because I want to treat the person to a new bar in Paris, whiskey and spirits bar and shop, I decided prior to the appointment to see with the bartender if they could trick me in a way with two blind mini drams, baby drams, of whatever single malt from whatever country they had. While I struggle on the nose to really be sure of what it was, category or area wise, I did recognize the ABV and kind of the age as well. So we didn't went too bad. So after I did a few tastings also home, it was a bit encouraging, though I'm not 100% back. I said to myself, why not maybe try to record another video about my where am I to, and also give you a few impressions. Then will not be proper tastings, of course, tasting review, tasting notes, but it's still a tasting, even a bit diminished. And I wanted also to pay homage to a certain people with opening now the new series that I will call Friendly Samples Tasting Sessions. I struggle honestly to find a shorter title, and in this series I will share with you my impressions about samples of whiskies from the whiskey community, whether it's swapped sample, gifted, or this kind of stuff. So it will be bottles, samples from bottles from my friends in the whiskey community, and sometimes I will do those episodes in live shows when I can have the guest and we have time to prepare this with the guest. That's why there might be some blind samples in there too, and other times like this, a bit more loose things, where I'm not gonna anyway in this series go very in depth into the distilleries involved. I'm sorry, because it will take way too much time. But yeah, for those who haven't seen these Instagram pages with some whiskey impressions, please head over to Greg's Whiskey Guide in Instagram in one word, and you will find me there, and with a lot of pictures and comments on what I have. It kind of replaces temporarily the website. Okay, enough of this intro. So today I'm highlighting two people from Belgium. It's the theme. Not that I'm gonna do necessarily Belgian whiskies, just one for this time, but I think there will be another or one or two other episodes about Belgium, because of course one of the main contributors of samples of my channel is Menno, Malty Mission. Hi Menno. So he gave me over the years, the last 2 years we swapped, and he gave me also a lot of samples, so we're not gonna do them all. I'm just gonna show you a few of them, and then we're gonna do 5 tastings, 3 from Menno, today, and 2 out of 3, the last flight he sent me, Gert Retif, I hope the pronunciation is correct, my friend. So it's Gerard in fact, but he likes to call himself Gert Retif. I hope it's okay, but I will say Gert in the... it will be easier for me, if you don't mind. And he sent me 2 series of samples. One I covered already, which was his home blinds. No, home blends, sorry. And he sent me 3 other samples, one of which we're not gonna do today because it's a kind of it's not fitting in our almost 100% Scotch flight. There's only 1 Belgian whiskey in there, but it's still malt. No, it's grain, but it's still the Scottish way, if I may say. The other we'll see next in another flight is a Jack Daniel's. I think it's travel retail, if I'm not mistaken. 100 proof single barrel. Same for Menno. In another flight we'll do an Ainsley's Islay single malt 8 years old. It's a Buna, Indie Buna. A bottle he noticed, thanks to me apparently, of SingleCask Belgian release. This is 60% 0.5 SingleCask 2007-2016, so we'll probably do that together. I'd like to live, I mean. Stunning, the Danish single malt, stunning bastard with mezcal cask. It's a crazy thing. We have also 2 Belgian whiskies single malt from a brewery and distillery, Good and Carolus. We will do that another time. And we had also a Genevieve, 17 years old, aged. So you see lots of things. But today we're gonna do a blend, single grain, which is an entry-level supermarket blend, as I was told. Then we're gonna do a Speyburn, then we're gonna do Loch Lomond, a Miltonduff, and a Talisker. So stay tuned with me, please, to see all that. Okay. So I will try to nose. It's not the best part at the moment, and then I will try to. Everything is topped with Whiskey Communities coins, by the way. The last drop, it's Chris Moore. Yeah. So we're starting with this, which is, no, it's not Irish, but I had to find a glass. If I understood well, my friend Gert, it's GOLDLYS Family Reserve. I thought it was blended whiskey first, but it seems it's a single grain. 40% ABV, probably with a lot of things added. No, a lot of things added. I'm not sure because it's quite clear. But we don't know. He said in another comment, but I'm not 100% sure, so please correct me if I'm wrong. When first feel Oloroso sherry, but I'm not sure. Now we know of modern sherry can be quite light, especially American oak matured sherry instead of European oak, and also when it's seasoned instead of full maturation à l'ancienne, old school style. Another question we won't go too much into. Anywhere today, most of the flight, I think it's ex-Bourbon or so today, and we're going to start with this one. So again, a big thank you to Menno, to Gert, and to all the other people, very generous people. Just to let you know, there are other things coming. I should try to review, at least taste with you, with Whiskey Shared Toby, Luna Aaron from Germany, of course, a big contributor, who else, and several others. But for now, we're on into this. So fasten your seatbelt or mine, and we'll try to see what's going on. Legs are sticky, but not too long, but still impressive for something at 40. Let's stick on those. Okay, I see something a bit oxidative, a bit acidulous, something that evoke for me the sherry, but very young sherry, or I mean something matured or finished in for a very short time, and the sherry which is very young as well. So the two different factors. It's not unpleasant, it's very grainy, of course. Maybe some vanilla. There's a pleasant note I struggle to define, which is probably floral. Yet still something cool, sweet, soft going on. Let's go now on the palate. Cheers. It's a bit cardboardy, if I'm not mistaken. Every note today is under reservation, mind you, because I'm not 100% okay. Okay, let's try another time and then a few drops. Yeah, for me it's a bit cardboardy. There's some grain, but it's on second ground, but might be me. The slightly oxidative, a bit tiny, very tiny red fruit might be linked to sherry, but I cannot be sure. I'm gonna try to open it up. I didn't pour much because you're gonna see there's some high ABV whiskies in today's flight. So I really hope I'm not gonna be long today. Okay, did I add? No, I didn't add yet. Few drops. Try not to spill it on my sheet because I needed to do the time stamps to give you. If you want to go on the description, I will put every whiskey with the details and the counting when I start to present it, evaluate it on the nose and then on the palate. So not unpleasant, but something I'm not super fond of. It's not spirity, it's the good thing about this one. And there's a note I cannot define, I'm sorry, which is a bit characteristic of this whiskey. And voila, that's it for this one. I'm gonna rinse my palate and we're gonna this was Belgian bottle, but I'm not sure the content is Belgian or is it Scottish, I don't know. So please, Gert, if you have more details, thank you. I couldn't do searches too much. I apologize prior to the recording. I didn't know if I'm going to record something, but I still wanted to give you content. We're going to move into Speyside and Speyburn. It's, as I understand, 13 years old. This time we're going to go into 3 samples in a row from Menno and then finish with another Gert sample. So this is 13 years old. I have lighting issues, so I am in temporary lighting solutions, so please be kind at the moment. So Speyburn, it's 13 years old, but not declared as 13. It's 2006 and distilled, 2019 bottle. Belgian exclusive single cask. I don't have the detail, but it might be ex-Bourbon. Cask detail, it's 1 cask, non-chill filtered, non-colored, 52.5 ABV. Interesting, low ABV. Is it diluted or was it in a dunnage warehouse where it lost? There has been a lot of angel share for a 13 years old. It's very surprising ABV for me. So I will maybe say it's the second solution, so dunnage warehouse, probably at low level of the warehouse, so the most damp possible and with the most angel share. I don't know. Menno, if you have an idea, don't hesitate to comment. I haven't taken notes, I don't have the time. Maybe I will see it back and my own notes after that, I don't know. This one comes across very clear as well. It's pale Chardonnay, or a 20 years old Port Ellen, forget it, with refill bourbon. So once again, be careful, and I should do a full episode about that. Color can be very misleading, and while the 3/4 of the population still wants his whiskey to be as dark as this, but this is natural color, while most of the time this is not. This kind of color for a whiskey can be fantastic, synonym of fantastic whiskey. So don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, don't judge a whiskey by its color, with a few exceptions. On the nose, oof, it's weird, or I am weird. I don't get much on the nose, unfortunately. There's something almost like a moist cask. I don't feel any vanilla. I feel something like a funk, like so I will not rely on my nose for this one and go to the palate straight now. Sanjava. Ooh, nice. It's a single cask, so highlighting individual qualities and not the summary of a lot of cask to make a kind of average profile, which will take some eccentric or very individual qualities from ones and then blend them together to do something more rounded. No, it's a bit raw, but it's very nice, very interesting. There's something leafy, definitely tea-ish for me. Not really Earl Grey, not really black, not really green tea, but a bit of all that maybe. There's something very Speyburn there, which I like, which is some kind of pears and apples. Some of them being raw, some others being very raw, I mean earthy and not cleaned and ripe. I won't say that, so maybe green. So before being ready to be eaten. Very nice, leafy, old school profile. I like that. Oh, vanilla as well. Some fresh oak. Some ginger. Maybe some, no, nutmeg, no. Hint of white pepper, maybe. I like this a lot because it's very typical and very unadulterated whiskey. So this kind of things I really enjoy. With a few drops now. So again, Speyburn 2006. Menno's choice. So I may say it's not, but it's a Belgian exclusive. I hope someday, I don't know if you did already, let me know, Menno, if you did select casks for some distilleries. It would be awesome to have a Malty Mission stamped bottling in my collection. maybe of a Belgian distillery. This is probably easier for you while you're there. Cheers. Yeah, basically with water, the same sensations. Maybe highlighting a bit more the ginger, the dry ginger, the spices, different kind of spices. Not sure I detect them all. But overall, a beautiful profile. Beautiful profile. Thanks, Menno. We're gonna move now to the third out of 5 of the whiskies. I tried it. Some of them I tried it before. They're not very recent. It's my fault. I tried without taking notes first. Some of those whiskies. So just excuse me a second. Okay, needed to refresh myself, as some say. Some would say. So let me present you Loch Lomond 17 years old organic. I don't know if it's 2020 or this is from sample sound 2 years ago. I apologize. So not sure it's a 2020 bottling. Haven't done searches. But Menno says it's first fill bourbon and wine cask finish, possibly. Not sure. 54.9. Sorry, and this time we're in the Highlands, still in Scotland. I tried this before and liked it a lot, so I told Menno, but I don't find my notes, or maybe I didn't took. Okay, very Loch Lomond style with this kind of very hard to define singular profile, which is something that's, I won't say cardboard, because cardboard for me in a whiskey is when it's more than a bit of tiny note, it's a flow. Clearly, it has to do with feints and foreshots and where the cut is made, of what I understand. That said, for some young Islay whiskies, it's very common. Just shows they're too young and a bit too easy to maybe new makey, let's say. But this can be contested. So yeah, very leafy. That's why the thing I was looking for. Very green, végétal in French. Very green profile. Yeah, it's organic, so it's pushed on the front, this aspect, right? So something uncommercial but interesting. And with some depth, probably the years, 17 years old. Nice nose. That's basically, aside from vanilla, citrus fruit, all I can get from the nose at the point where I am now. Okay. Now on the palate, neat. 54.9, we're moving a bit higher ABV wise. Nice. Nice. It's not so far from the Speyburn, so I probably choose well the progression, as I know I can do that, but it's made with whiskies I don't know for most part. Very nice. The leafy characteristic now is melting with a nicely gentle oak. Very intricate, the leaf, the green and the oaky element. Few spices, but tinier than on the Speyburn. Really pleasant and very complex and very refined, very subtle whiskey. I wish I had the bottle to take the time to enjoy it. Okay, another sip without water. I don't want to drink too much because I've taken my breakfast, as often when I do videos. yeah, more 2 hours ago. I had to prepare some stuff for that anyway. Okay, with water on the nose doesn't change much. It's a bit leafier now, more than oakier. Still interesting. This is not something I will dilute too much, or maybe I won't dilute at all. But very, very interesting. We'll fill these later on because now I can't. Just a minute. Okay, so just a thing I found back. I did write some notes before having this sickness. So on the nose, I did found prior to that almonds, some hint of gentian and geranium, and some Auchentoshen-like floral notes. On the palate, I said very particular, very green, with some lightly sugared pear sherbet, almonds again, and a bit of floral notes. So it's encouraging. Okay, so I hope it's interesting for you despite my limitations right now. Let me know. We want to move on to the higher ABV of the flight. Very impressive. Again, we are into refill casks, obviously, and we are apparently into moving on to the pit section of the video, by the way. 9 years old Miltonduff. Miltonduff is a filler distillery, as we say, mainly to be used for blends. So there's very few official bottlings of Miltonduff. Not sure about flora and fauna, but might be. You know, the iconic series from Diageo. But this one is an indie bottling from Cadenhead for a Belgian club, which is called, I hope I won't butcher this, and it's a Menno sample, forgot to say the last two. Templars of the Malt is the name of the club. It's ex-Laphroaig cask and it's 62.1. I don't have the bottling date. I guess it's before or in 2020, while I received those samples, the Speyburn, the Loch Lomond and the Miltonduff in 2020. GOLDLYS was in 2022 and it's by Gert. The last one will be also from Gert and will be from 2022, but it's a 2021 release, but we'll see that later on. Okay, this promises to be very powerful because high ABV legs, they are sticking a lot. It's non-chill filtered, non-colored as the previous ones, forgot to mention maybe. Let's go on the nose. Ooh. Something again that's very coherent so far, except maybe for the first. Super genuine and singular profile for all those three at the moment. So I feel something leafy, maybe industrial, maybe some bitterness, some very organic, more than the previous one. I don't know why. Maybe medicinal, but I'm not sure. I don't feel the peat much, even the smoke at this stage. It must be me. No, that said, as we know by my experience, when you put a whiskey for a finish into an ex-Isle cask, it has nothing to do with the maturation in this Isle cask. It's lighter, it highlights more the smoky side than the other characteristics of the peat. It's often less maritime, less medicinal, less iodine, less seaweed, less all of that. But sometimes it's interesting. ask for some shelter points. Go to see the video, by the way. 2 videos, 1 live show and a video if you're interested in my views on shelter point. I forgot to say I will put links below in the description about Malty Mission and Whisky Lovers Society, so don't miss the links to go to see what Menno does in his blog, Malty Mission, and what Gert does in his YouTube channel. Okay, not much more. Let's see neat, hoping not to be burnt. Wow, powerful. Now I feel the smoke. I'm reassured. Whoa, it's quite spirity. Not so much. It's young, but it's beautiful. Wow. We'll need more water. Water. Eau in French. Eau. It's hard to with 3 letters instead of just O. This is something I will enjoy neat, but I will put a bit more. And so there you have it, Miltonduff. Miltonduff is something we rarely see peated, honestly. It's very subtle, very refined, despite the young age and the ABV. It's very impressive. Something malty, but not in the sense of malty chocolatey or malty breakfast tea like Balvenie, or melted chocolatey like Tamdu or some Glengoyne, or some Aberfeldies as well. But it's very nice. I struggle to really separate notes. It's more smoke than peat, than all the peat elements, like I said, but it's a beautifully integrated smoke. So well done, Cadenhead. It's not a big surprise, but you'll never know. I love Cadenhead usually. Well, you can't see mine there, but they're hidden now. Got 5 or 6 ones, and one I did finish to blend myself for my birthday in 2015. It was a gift, but it's another story. I'll probably open it in a live show someday, because it has some insane whiskies in there, insanely good and old. With a few drops of water, I'm starting to have some green elements from the Laphroaig. Maybe some leather, citrus fruit very on the background, tiny notes. Something again quite organic and green. It's weird, but it seemed to have the same background from the 3 single malts and SingleCask I tried today. I don't know if it's me, or if it's the profile of the 3, or if it's the way Menno choose them to be coherent together, or just by chance. Overall, very nice selection. I enjoy them all. Thank you, Menno. And after I take a few sips of water, we're gonna go to into highly expected to try a very kind sample from Gert Retief, some Whisky Lovers Society, Talisker, 8 years old, official bottling special release 2021. 59.7 Isle of Skye single malt from Scotland. And I have no idea, and if I remember well, also in his video, Gert didn't know as well, because it's not disclosed which type of cask, but so we can probably conclude by the color, it's most probably refill bourbon and maybe some refill Hogshead as well, stuff like that. If it's the sherry in there, I really doubt there is, or I will notice that on the palate. Last sip. Now we're going into this. So very clear color. It's a young whiskey. Forgot to give numbers to everything, but it's pretty high. So this is a special release they do. I'm not sure they do each year a Talisker, to be honest, but there's been several ones. I know there's been another 8 years old, but unfortunately it's the only one I will try. There was one that was very highly rated with the stunning packaging. I don't like this packaging, I have to say. All these new series, I find it very vulgar, very gross is not the term, but very cheesy, or I don't know, it's not refined for me at all. I know many people like it, but I don't like it. I prefer the special releases. I think it's 2020 or 2019 with the kind of flora and fauna theme. I found it very elegant and beautiful. I still have to get me a Lagavulin from that time, by the way. A 12. Okay, will I notice something at the point I am? I don't know. On the nose, I mean. Very refined on the nose. I'm surprised I'm not. It's 59.7. I'm not. It's not jumping on my nose already. Has been sitting there for a quarter each sample at least, but capped. This is beautiful in maritime, a bit only. This is a bit sugary, sugar almonds, stuff like that. Very pleasant note so far, but I don't get a lot of it. It's probably me. I don't know. I even get some sucre d'orge, barley sugar for me. And I write no smoke, so it's me probably who's not okay yet. Okay, on the palate, Slangeva. Sorry, it's divine. Thank you, Gert. You don't know what you treat me well. How pleasant it is. Wow, I'm very impressed. 59.7. Okay, I'm getting a bit red because I had some high ABV before. But oh my word, it's fantastic. It's beautiful. The balance is perfect of what I can understand. I get this sexy, a bit half unsugared almonds and barley sugar that's also present in some Port Ellens and Caulillas, old Caulillas. Wow, this is beautiful. I don't get the Talisker kick of chili spices and burst of smoke à l'ancienne, the old way. like I have in my 20 years old, I never reviewed it, 20 years old cask strength Talisker official, or even in the 57th North would be a great comparison with this, because I believe the age is probably similar. But this is a small batch. It shows it's a small batch. It's, I don't know if it's natural color or not. Chill filtered, yes, probably. But it has something very unique, very singular. I don't believe it's a lot of cask involved in that. We're probably into only 10,000 or 20,000 bottles. Let me know if you have the numbers. This is beautiful, neat, pretty drinkable, neat. Maritime elements are very subdued. Everything is very not pushed on the front, so super balanced. I'm very impressed, and I will put a link below to Gert own review about it. It's the least I can do. Wow, on the nose I'm reassured. I'm starting now to get the smoke. Thank you, my friend. You don't know what you're doing there, giving me some hope about my abilities. I know it's the reason you did it, to help me get out of this mess. This is so pleasant. What's not to like? Talisker is a beautiful distillery. I mean, I've never been there, but I mean their distillate. I'm gonna do a Talisker, you know, I'm doing by numbers, by letters, A, B, C, etc. So Talisker and Springbank, for instance, are very far. I did a video about Springbank, comparing two expressions, but I have to do at some point, and not wait for a year or two, a Talisker rundown, and maybe some special Taliskers to try with you. Oh, more smoke coming on with the water and the oxidation. I would try to put away more, but this is so pleasant because you can sip it neat. Honestly, I'm surprised. Just adding a few more. Long video, but it's my way. If you don't like it, I cannot do anything for you. I'm sorry. If you like it, please let me know. Like, comment, and all that jazz, please, because I do not get a lot of likes and I do not get a lot of comments on my recently. It's life. Wow. Oh, Jesus. Wow, this is a beautiful bottle. I gotta have one. Let me tell you, Gert and everyone, I know this is different. I know this is not the star anise, fantastic star anise note you get, and quarter or maybe half an hour finish that you have in retro olfaction wise in some Port Ellens, but it's very high level Talisker. Some will won't like it because it's not a beast. Me and Gert and other people, we like that because it's very subtle and yet still Taliskerish. So well done, and merci mon ami. Merci beaucoup. I really enjoy that, and I have more to enjoy later on. That was a blast. Thank you very much, Menno and Gert. I love you guys. Please check out what they do. You'll find links in the description below, and it was very enjoyable for me, and I hope it was a bit enjoyable for you. I'll be back soon. I'm now willing to do other tasting with you. I would put reservations, of course, but I'm starting to really enjoy this. So thanks for watching, and see you soon.